How did you become a billionaire?
He's somebody who has dreamed big, as Sunny Varkey.
He's a man of few words, but a man of action.
Gems Education Foundation.
You really want to know? Good giving has to hurt, has to pinch you. God has given everybody a talent. Nobody gives you a free hand in today's world. Nobody. You came into this world with nothing and you go back with nothing.
What do wealthy people, millionaires, billionaires see that normal people don't see?
Goal, the hunger to be successful. That should be your ambition. So if you don't have that, then you won't be successful. People talk about brand name. The brand name is second, but if you don't have the people, you don't have a company.
How would you say is your relationship with money?
I'm telling you, Anas, if you find $1 million in my account, you can take it.
In a world driven by numbers, growth, speed, we pause to ask, what drives the people behind these companies? What does leadership mean when no one's watching? So welcome to ABtalks Business. What is this series? It's a cool question, and the answer is you've seen these big organizations, these big companies, these big brands, and you think they're successful, but who are the humans behind it? That's also important. So we're here to meet entrepreneurs, business leaders, CEOs, board members, chairmen, and get to know them not only as a human, but how have they applied what they've learned through life into making a very successful business. How do they hire? How do they fire? How do they build culture? And how are they so successful? Enjoy. So, Mr. Sunny, you said I can call you Sunny.
Of course.
Okay, lovely. The first question is the most obvious question, but I think it's nice to start with. How did you become a billionaire?
Forget the word billionaire, but for me, more than anything else, I think, how does one be successful? Might not be just about money, but even in one's profession, how can you be on top of the profession? So having a determination in life, having a goal in life, and when you have a goal in life, you tend to work very hard, and you're disciplined, more or less like an entrepreneur. So I think it's a combination of a goal, hard work, and discipline. And I think if you have that in mind, you can achieve what you want in life. It could be billionaire, or it could be on top of your profession.
You touched on something really nice and important. One of the questions I usually like to ask is, what is your definition of success? Because it's very subjective. So I think how you swerved my question is the right one. You said, I would like to say successful, and what is success? So what is success to
Yeah,
Sunny?
so again, you very correctly said that, at the end of the day, whatever you do, you have to be happy. You have to be passionate in what you're doing. It is not the monetary aspect. In my own case, if I'm able to make somebody else happy, helping somebody in one way to sort the problems out, hearing somebody's problems. So I don't think money alone is an answer. You need money for sure. There's no two ways about it. But I personally, believe that you came into this world with nothing and you go back with nothing. So we are temporary custodians of that financial reward that you have gained or not gained in this world. So for me, doing what we're doing with passion, and if you're happy with it, that's what to me is happiness. And in my own case, helping people in any way I can, this is probably that thing that would resonate with me in a big way.
Why education?
Both my parents were teachers, and we came to Dubai in 1959. My parents were brought over by the late Isa Salalkar to teach English to some of his local friends, and here we are 65 years and beyond. My parents started as teachers for English as a foreign language, and then they opened their first school in 1968 in Bastakia. And I took over this school from that location in 1980 with over 350 students. First of all, I should thank the leadership of the country, giving us opportunity for us to be successful. Number one. Number two is that, in our case, Dubai was growing and we grew with Dubai. And today, we are really fortunate, and thank God that we are probably the largest K-12 provider in the world.
It's a big deal.
Big deal, and also not only are we that we are also probably the inventor of schools with different price points, all the way from $500 per annum up to $60,000 per annum, following different curriculums, IB, American, British, Indian, bilingual, local curriculum. So we are really a different sort of a education setup than anybody else in the world.
I was just thinking, how cool is it that you guys, all of you, like even your team here, you're just like bringing outputs of educated people into the world. And I read also some of the values that you guys inhibit, like empathy. And I'm reading like nice words. I'm like, okay, that's a nice thing. Especially the word empathy just stuck in my head. Like, that's something that should be taught, I love that. I don't know if you can teach it exactly, but you can bring awareness to it, and then the kids start to develop empathy.
Yeah. When you're in education, you can really make positive impact to a family, to a community and a country. Country is changed only by education. And so this sector, education sector, plays a very, very important role globally. And also we as a company, as Gems Education, what we believe is, while education is very, very important, the outcomes are very important, but packaging education with values, empathy, determination, to be successful in life. So all these factors are things that are totally different than technology. Technology is definitely going to disrupt education. There's no two ways about it, especially AI. But these sort of things, the critical thinking, the values, all these things are going to be there for centuries to come. It's not going to change. You're going to getting 10 A stars doesn't give you the road to success. But if you got the determination, the hard work and the discipline, you can achieve what you want in life.
You didn't go to university. Looking back, do you wish you did?
At times, yes. I was through and through an entrepreneur. I used to do some sort of a trading in my own village when I was more like 8, 9 years old and 10 years old. While I was not a bad student, education was not something that was up my priority as such. But there are times in my life that I have felt that I could have definitely done with a university education or going to something, would be a bit more different than what I am today. Especially in situations like this when, when one is trying to be a bit more eloquent and
I think you're doing great. And I'll tell you, not out of being nice, I got into media from a very unorthodox path. I'm an engineer, mechanical engineer, but maybe that's what makes me a different interviewer. I think your story, if you went to a traditional, typical university, you might have not been the Sunny that we all celebrate today. Because you had your entrepreneurial life that made you this entrepreneur, did that entice you or encourage you to bring an entrepreneurial spirit into your education systems?
If you look, we are probably the oldest for-profit company in the world. So there are not-for-profit institutions for hundreds of years, there's no doubt. But as a pure for-profit, and thanks to Dubai, because Dubai or the UAE did not have a government system, state system as such for catering to the expats. So we were in a unique situation in Dubai where the foreigners have to cater for your own community as such. So when I used to do the for-profit education, people said, Mr. Varkey, but how can you make money in education? And the example I always gave was, but if healthcare can be a business, why not education? And even today, Anas, we don't take donations. We operate purely, we borrow money from the bank, we just do our business. But while we have been a successful group by God's grace and with thanks to the wise, great policies of UAE government, we also do a lot of charity. And we have spent over $300 million for our global education skills forum. the charities that we have been giving for all around in Dubai and now outside. Our Global Teacher Prize, which has become probably the most well-known Global Teacher Prize in the world. It's like equal to almost a Nobel Teaching Prize and Nobel Peace
You
Prize.
said over $300 million.
Yes. Over the last 10, 15 years, when we launched the Varkey Foundation. So if you look at, and you know, where, I mean, our Global Teacher Prize, where Her Highness Sheikh Mohammed has been the patron of that from the inception. So when you're successful, it's your duty to also be an example to other people as well, but to make your own self feel comfortable. You know that not only you're successful, but you're also making other people successful and helping people to achieve.
And these values, you think they're integrated into the GEMS policy?
100%, 100%. Because we are an education company, we also tend to practice those values. You know, we teach our children to share and care. Jewels of kindness is very, very important.
Why do you do all that you do? Do you know your why? Why?
These are the values that you're brought up with. You know, when you're successful, you have to. I know. Even when I always say, even when my parents were making $5,000, we came back. I said, good giving has to hurt you, has to pinch you. I was fortunate to contribute or commit to contribute 100 million dirhams to the Father's Endowment Fund. It's borrowed. It's so, you know, I told Excellency Mr. Gargavi, I said, listen, whatever is good giving has to hurt, has to pinch you. So it's not good giving. And so that's where I'm coming from, you know. There are people dying every day in different parts of the world. So even if you're able to do something now, with whatever we have, that's help. You know, you don't need to make 100 billion to give one. You know, if you have got 10,000, give 1,000 to help, but that 1,000 will be sufficient to help somebody. You know? So you just give as you go along in your life.
I love that. Yeah, you know, it's a good idea. Instead of postponing giving, you give. Even if you have potato chips, you can give somebody to eat.
Exactly, and also again giving. You know, listen to somebody's problems. You know, and to give them an idea, or visiting somebody in the hospital. This is all giving. Or somebody wants have an operation, but can you help me find a good doctor? That's it. Giving as well.
I love that.
You know, so this is where I'm coming from, you know, and as an educator, I hope that we can inculcate this in our children.
It's a lovely mindset to have. How would you say is your relationship with money? If you had to describe this relationship.
With money?
Yeah, because each person has a relationship with money.
Yeah. You really want to know? And whenever I meet some of my local friends, they say, oh, Mr. Varkey, you know, you're in Forbes, you are a billionaire. So I tell them, I said, if you find $1 million in my name, in my account, anywhere in the world, I said, take it. And today, I'm telling you and us, if you find $1 million in my account, you can take it. Like I said earlier, you came into this world with nothing and you go back with nothing. Yes, sure, God has been kind. You know, I've my lifestyle, my day-to-day things, it's met. You know, I've never gone behind money. Never. Not from when I was young and not till I die, because for me it's about impact. And how can you, like you in our company, it's all about how can you be the most positively impactful company in the world. And we can be, because we have education. Unlike any other business, so if you look at the impact teachers do in the world, it's huge. You know, in a teacher's lifetime, depending on the country they're teaching, they impact anywhere from $200 million to a couple of $1 billion during the lifetime. The socioeconomic contribution they do. If you take that as a yardstick by one teacher, look at GEMS with 15,000 teachers. We talk about trillions of dollars of impact that we give globally.
Wow.
We want to become the most positively impactful company in the world, and package all that with these values that we talked about in the family first, which is so important in today's world, the determined genius that we are launching, the longevity program that you're launching, and the parental, data that we get from them in order to come out with the full 360-degree evaluation of the child. Because, for a child, they're only with us for 35% of the time. 65% of the time they're with the parents. So we are trying to get the full data from the parents of how the children are behaving during holidays at home, and through that we are able to bring a 360 degrees on the child.
I know maybe you don't like the word billionaires, but let's say billionaires or wealthy people. What do wealthy people, millionaires, billionaires, see that normal people don't see?
God has given everybody a talent. What we don't have is that 98% of the people do not have that ambition, the determination, the hard work to achieve that goal. So what all of them have in common is that goal, the hunger to be successful. And they're willing to work hard for it, and they're very disciplined to achieve that. So whether you are a top in your sports or in your profession or a billionaire, it's the same thing. So what they need is that grit, as I call it, the grit is what you need. If you are a cleaner, your ambition is to own the largest cleaning company in the world. If you are a waiter, you must own the largest hospitality company in the world. That should be your ambition. So if you don't have that, then you won't be successful. That's the kind of thing that people should have, that sort of a hunger for success. And when they're successful, make sure that you're giving back to the community.
Can someone be successful and still have a work-life balance?
One should try to. It's not easy, because if I work 8 hours like everybody else, I won't be successful. So it is first you must have the passion, and then you must have the ability to literally work 24/7. And in my own case, I was away from a very simple, humble family. Parents were teachers, but I worked almost 24/7. Even today, I work literally, 24/7, literally. And the team who works with me work on the same level and same pace. It'd be good if one can have a work-life balance or family balance. But it's not very easy. It's just difficult. It's just you have to have the whole family to be with you, because somebody has to work hard, right, to achieve things. Nobody gives you a free hand in today's world. Nobody. Milk is only given to a crying baby. So you have to work hard, but sometimes it's very difficult to have the work-life balance.
What's been the personal cost of your success?
Today, when I see my children, they spend a lot of time with their family, with the children. They go for holidays and they spend time with them. And maybe reading books in the night before they sleep. I could not do that. But then, because I worked hard, they're able to enjoy that privilege, right? So it's a bit of a chicken and egg kind of thing. Yeah.
So everything, I think, success has a tax.
There's two ways about it.
Fame has a tax, popularity has a tax. What's the hardest business decision you've ever made?
For me, it's very difficult to pinpoint this has been hard or not hard. But when you're in business, you will face problems. There are times, two or three times in my life where I've really gone down, and by God's grace, I've come up again. Things have been tough. So me personally, I work best under pressure. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but
You reminded me. I say it's like life is a continuous problem-solving game.
Yeah.
Especially as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, all the time you have problems. So even if you think everything is, all your feasibility studies are good, everything is great, but tomorrow something could happen. Maybe, it's just one of those things, and you have to be prepared for that. And sometimes some people are not prepared, and they get into trouble, not because it is not planned, but it's unexpected. And maybe they never had the right insurance for that matter. We all make mistakes, and even today I make mistakes, but then you learn and then you move on and find new things. And again, we as a company, Gems Education, we try to be more innovative, be upfront on how to do things and get the best people. At the end of the day, any company for that matter is only as good as its people. So we value our people big time. So they make the company. People talk about brand name. The brand name is second, but if you don't have the people, you don't have a company.
Best decision you've ever made in business?
Choosing my business lines is really I call myself a social entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So healthcare, education. By nature, I'm a hospitality person, right? So I believe in doing things in with a service mentality. So for me, being in the healthcare and also education, it really is up my street. I love it. And even when all the real estate boom was going on in Dubai, I was close to the people who were making it happen. I was sitting with them every day, but I never knew that I want to buy a land and sell tomorrow. It's not my cup of tea. I never knew how to do it. Maybe I knew how to do it, but it didn't interest me that much than making money or by doing a service like healthcare or education.
You gave me a full circle moment. Some people, once they get into something, but then they see all of the Scandi money somewhere else, they're starting to go everywhere. But we have a beautiful saying in Arabic. I'll translate it. It's رحم الله امرأ عرف قدر نفسه. God bless the soul that knows its capacities or its capacity. And it's a beautiful thing, like to know your lane. And it's not easy to stick to your lane.
If you want to be top in the world, just focus on one thing. So about 20 odd years back, I said, well, education is our business. And so we are stuck to that. So today, any part of the world you go, we are known. Gems Education is known. Varkey is known. Our teacher prize and all over. So, you are there. Suppose if you imagine I had two or three sectors. So, you are like, as a jack of all and master of none. Today, I could say, by God's grace, we are sort of master of education. People know us, teachers in the world know us what we are. And we get the best, every year we recruit about 2,200 new teachers. We have 500, 600,000 applicants. So yeah, just focusing on one, you be the best.
What do you look for, Sunny, when you hire someone?
Well, I think we have a process, of course, right? you go through the usual.
No, you.
No,
if you're ever choosing someone, what's so important?
For me, I try to feel the person. I try to feel his common sense, his behavior. If they have common sense and if they're willing to work hard and if they're honest, then they will succeed. I have common sense, so if I do not know something, I always tell, a carpenter or a tailor measures 7 times and cuts once. So if you do not know, ask people. There's nothing wrong in asking people, say, listen, I do not know, can you help me? And then from the 7 opinions, you choose what's the right one. So once you know the answer, then you want to work, be focused. Make sure that you work hard on that. That's why if that people have that hard-working ability and honesty is very, very important. So honesty, hard work, and common sense, together, you will be able to make that person to do his job. Humbleness, because unless you're humble, you can't ask somebody, listen, how do I do this? So humbleness is very, very important. And respect is important, because if you don't have respect, nobody's going to respect you, because, so it's all a give and take.
When do you fire someone?
Well, there are 3 things where I think that we would, our people get an immediate sack would be dishonesty, arrogance, and laziness.
Nice.
These are 3 things, right? If you're lazy, if you're arrogant, and if you're dishonest. If you're professionally not there, we can support you, we can train you, we can guide you.
Family business can be complicated for many families. How do you make yours work?
Being the founder, the chairman, it makes life easy because you are still, by God's grace, you still got the health to do it and the passion to do it. And both my sons, this is the third generation in the business. So both my sons are in the same business. Sometimes it's tough for them and for me because they might not think exactly the way I think. So there's a compromise, there is a balance. Their talents are different. But then again, we also got professionals. So together we, now that we've got partners, Brookfields are partners, therefore we are able to, really get the right way going forward. Bring discussions and proper planning and proper risk evaluation.
Are your sons as hardworking as you?
Yeah, I think if I look at they're both hardworking and good boys, but they might not have the great ambition that I have. Maybe they have, but not the level and the type that I have probably. Because we are trying to create the most impactful company in the world, and we can be because we are in education. But if I'm not there, I'm sure, they say necessity is the mother of invention. So when I'm not around, I'm sure they'll probably perform better than me.
Why did you choose to build everything in the UAE? Like this is where it started.
Thanks to the leaders of the UAE, they gave us opportunity to be successful. And we did try to, in between, we did try to diversify because, nobody wants to put your eggs in one basket. So we did try to diversify into many countries. And even still, we are on the same path as well. But in our case, we went into greenfield. So when you do greenfield, your brand is not known probably 10 to 15 years back in Singapore or in other countries. So you go to a new place, you get the land, then you do the construction, then it takes you
From zero, I guess.
Zero. So it takes you about 8-9 years to really break even kind of thing. So that strategy we went into many countries actually, and that was our strategy of starting greenfield, which is what we did in Dubai, But that was the wrong model. While that was happening, Dubai and UAE was growing in a big way. So unfortunately, we are, Dubai or UAE has got this thing where they, even when things are down, it just goes up afterwards. So, so we've been going through this, and, fortunately we are in a great place today. Dubai and UAE is really on top of the world. Dubai is probably the number one city destination to go to.
Why is giving back so important? You mentioned it a few times in the interview. Why is it so? It's part of your DNA.
Well, we were brought up like that, and even when my grandparents, I was with them, they used to give me 1 rupee or something to give to some people come home to give to them. So it was that habit that they taught me, and also in my own DNA, in my system, is about giving. I had an example about, I think it was 1980. I sort of almost went broke. One bishop came to me from Kerala and he wanted some money. And I remember I had 54,000 Indian rupees in one of the accounts, and I gave 50,000 rupees. So it's one of those, somehow, I don't know, one of those things that it's just a DNA. I don't know how to say this. It's just part of your system to help people and be nice with people,
One entrepreneur once told me that to get wealth, you should be able to give away money. And he said the idea of charity has a mental effect on you. My point is the idea that you're giving away, it's this weird confidence that, don't worry, I'll make money. You know what I mean? It's that mindset that, no, I'm not going to just keep my money for me. No, it's okay, give, and I'm sure I'll keep making money. It's this confidence.
What I've experienced in my life, the more you give, the more God has given. In different forms, not just money, in every way, whether it is more growth in your business, whether it's money, whether it's happiness, whether it is, I don't know. I think in every way, see, if you give God gives you. You know what I'm saying? If you, like a river, if you can just, you know what I'm saying, it just flows and go into the sea. So that's it. You have to have that conviction.
And recently you gave 100 million dirhams to the Father's Endowment, right? And this is the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Maktoum initiative. And I know, the thing is, from the little that I was hearing, I mean, the main milestones I used to hear from you every year, I've always heard your name, but how much you support and how much you give back and how you've never forgotten where you've made it. Imagine this is as a basic Emirati, just listening to everyday chats. They're like, yeah, Mr. Sunny, he always is so proud of where he comes from, how he came and how he gives back. And this year it was the Father's Endowment. So why did you support that so much?
Well, I don't know when Dubai case was launched, maybe 14 years.
I used to work there.
Yeah, so that was the first time when we did our bit, and we kept our commitment, and then obviously last 5-7 years, we could not do our bit. But when this opportunity came last year, I wanted to do something, but I didn't have the funds available. But this time when the Father's Endowment was launched during Ramadan by His Highness, I told Excellency Mr. Gagawi that, I want to do it. I don't have the money, but I'd make my commitment to make sure I give it to you. So I did that. And again, you want to be there. You want to be an example to others as well, I remember when I did something with King Charles about 30 years back, during a polo match. And it was about sponsoring some 25 or 50,000 pounds for Macmillan Cancer Fund. So I told them, I said, listen, don't put my name anywhere and so on and so forth. I said, in being a Christian, they say what the right hand does, left hand should not know. So I said, I don't want to say anything. They said, no, Mr. Varkey, he said, we want other people to see what you're doing. So they also, you be a role model kind of. The same way is all these acts one is doing that, you want to be a role model for other people to do. And I think same thing what Bill is doing, showing the world that, listen, keep giving. If you're successful, keep giving. And there are so many people in the world, who have no means.
Yes.
So
in your opinion, what is the recipe for success for someone who wants to make it?
If you don't have that goal in life, and that you're willing to work hard for it, honest hard work, and be honest about the whole thing. You see, we all go through problems and issues in life. And there are times when it could be tough, and there are times when you won't do the wrong things. But that's when the character comes. I want to still, take the hard road. Just keep at it. Have the goal, have the determination, and be honest, and you will not fail.
What impact, Sunny, you want to leave behind?
Personally, I think I just wanted to obviously be thankful to all the people, the leaders, and the people that has made me and my family and my group, Gems Education, successful. Because it's not a one-man thing. It's a team of people. It's the leaders of the country who give you the opportunity. So everybody, you have to thank everybody in life. And I think one day when I'm gone, if I'm able to leave a legacy of saying this guy was a decent guy, he was successful, he was also helpful, he had a good heart, a big heart, a generous heart. I think that's what we can leave for our children. A reputation that they and their children can live on. That this guy my father, my grandfather was a decent guy, and he did not make money and just keep it to himself, but he was really, and that's exactly what the leaders of this country do, right? They are so benevolent. They are so, each time you see them coming up with the initiatives that help the community and the country. So if I'm able to leave a legacy of being a decent person, that's a great achievement.
I think you're quite decent. Thank you.